good day. It is the 6th of July, 2021. I'm driving across country, and it's a long drive. But one thing I did do, I'm looking at, again, I've done the Appropriations Committee. The House Appropriations Committee has put out budget budget requests for certain departments. They're not going to get to the Justice Department till the middle part of July, but the president did put out his request, and because I had earlier reported that the Inspector General of DOJ had recommended a very large increase in a particular agency, I want to follow up and say, what is the realistic employment outlook based on what the president is requesting. So I'm going to do that for the Justice Department. What I'm going to look at is in his budget request, how many new positions, 1811 or deputy marshal positions, and then how many are going to be gained or through attrition, because every year about 5% of the agency leaves. When you figure it's a 20-year career, it's 20 years, 25 years, roughly 5% every year due to retirements, resignation, removal, just found a better job, something else. So what I'm going to look at then is the job outlook for the coming year, 2022. Okay, as I said in the intro, this is going to be the president's proposal to Congress focusing on federal law enforcement officer positions to be added, as well as those that are going to be just available due to attrition. And the first one we'll look at is the biggest, the FBI, which the president has recommended. I don't know why it's 139, why not 140, why not 150, but 139 special agent positions to be added, primarily to combat the primary focus of the Justice Department, which is going to focus on domestic violent extremism. And again, I've looked at the intelligence community report, the report of the Director of National Intelligence to the President, and it's all available online. It's unclassified as to their assessment as to domestic violent extremism groups. And it falls under the war on terror, but these groups are domestic groups rather than groups that come from Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia or something like that. And the groups that they've mainly targeted, or mainly they want to focus their attention on, are racial, I guess you could call it racial superiority groups. And then there's also targeting of abortion extremists, whatever that is, and then also targeting of animal rights. I mean, I'm laughing. I shouldn't be laughing. Animal rights activists. I don't know. If I was president, I would be looking at the violence in the city and trying to see in the various cities, because you had I don't know, almost 100, probably over 100 shootings in Chicago, just in this last weekend. And, you've got to get these people off the street who are doing it. I mean, now maybe these things are, a big problem that we don't know about. Maybe, it's all just, they're just doing a good job of keeping quiet. Or, maybe, the problems are really kind of exaggerated that they're focusing on, and you're not focusing on the things that you need to focus on in order to save lives. So, I mean, now, of course, there's going to be 600 to 900 special agent jobs available every year in that agency due to attrition. Okay? The DEA is going to get almost 25 new agents, and most of it is going to Operation Engage, Demand Reduction, and McGirt. Now, what is McGirt? Well, in Oklahoma, a Supreme Court decision, it's called the McGirt decision, prohibits Oklahoma state law enforcement agencies from doing any kind of enforcement on Indian reservations or Native American reservations. So now that all falls to federal agencies. So that's where that is going, along with Operation Engage, which I discussed earlier. And then there's going to be about 250 agent positions available due to attrition. And DEA is a little bit different than the Bureau. We kind of hire in fits and starts. But when you look at, 2000, that's, 20 years. It seems hard to believe. 9/11 was 20 years ago, but all those agents who came on are now eligible to pull a pin. And certainly those who came on in the 90s, and there were a lot who came on in the 90s. So most of the agents positions that have become available in my former agency are going to become available due to attrition. The Marshal Service, 82, not 1,200, but now we're going to see what comes out of the House Appropriations Committee. They may add more, but right now they're proposing 82 new positions, mostly for judicial security. And then, of course, you're going to have the 150 to 200 positions due to retirement, resignation, I quit, I hate it, whatever. People that just leave, go to other agencies, whatever. So you're going to have your regular positions that have to be filled every year due to attrition, but 82 new positions, which is about 2 classes. So that's good news. The ATF is getting about 2 classes, 96 new agents, mostly to work on firearm tracing. And then you're going to have a lot of positions that have to be filled due to attrition. Now, what I have seen in usajobs.gov is they're trying to hire GS11s and above, which means they're looking to other agencies, to people who want to transfer over. But that's what I see right now with the Justice Department. So we'll see what comes out of the Appropriations Committee, but this is what it looks like right now. Well, so there you have it. I mean, there's going to be a modest increase, very modest, in the FBI, DEA, marshals, more significant in the ATF. And again, it's different administrations, different priorities. So in the previous administration, what you heard is ICE. It's all you ever heard about. It's all you ever talked about is immigration and customs enforcement, a little bit on a border patrol. You wouldn't know anything else existed. Now they're not getting anybody, and what you're seeing is Capitol Police. You never hear about the Capitol Police, but they're getting a lot of jobs. The Park Police are getting, they had their recruitment drive, but they're getting jobs. The IRS is getting a lot of jobs, 300 new positions. The Secret Service is getting a lot of positions, and they're taking men and women who are retired from federal law enforcement, 1811s, and reemploying them as special agents, and they can collect their full retirement and also GS-13 pay. And up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they had a cutoff of age 60, because you can retire, obviously, from the federal government 25 years or at age 50 with 20 years. But so we don't want anyone who's over 60, but now they've lifted that. So they are still trying to get people on. So again, the protective services, the Secret Service, the Capitol Police, the Park Police, and the tax collectors, the IRS, they're going to do well more on the Democratic administration than Republican administration. So with the focus being on what it's on right now with the Attorney General, when I get to be Attorney General, I'm going to change the focus, and we're going to focus on inner city crime and making life bearable for the people who live there, for the honest people who just want a safe environment, and I would take the violent offenders and use the federal laws, even if the state prosecutors will not prosecute them, use the federal laws to put them in prison, ATF, and use the Marshal Service to pick them up, and just hit them with any federal charge you can so they go away. Because one thing that does have a deterrent that I found, having worked in state and local task forces in the DC area, generally the street criminals, the local area crack dealers, they're not afraid of state court. They're not afraid of DC Superior Court. They're not afraid of Prince George's County Court. They're not afraid of Montgomery County Court. They're afraid of U.S. District Court, because they know that's the courthouse where they say the door goes in and it doesn't, the revolving door doesn't go around. It goes in and it doesn't come out. It's kind of like, the old commercial, the Roach Motel, they check in and they don't check out, Hope this hotel doesn't have roaches. But anyways, so that's it. That's the outlook. I hope it was good news. I wish it was better news, but we'll see what the House Appropriations Committee does. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your kind comments, okay? Have a good night.